In our old house, I was limited to one of 3 floors getting around, so we decided a place like this where we could buy a property with an old bungalow on it and build from scratch was the way to go. So that's what we did. And I think we probably contacted you the next day.
No, I remember that very clearly, and thinking, what an opportunity to actually look at designing a house that was completely accessible. But also, as I learned, it's really about self-sufficiency too.
I remember you borrowing Jim's wheelchair and sitting in it to see what it was like to go around in a wheelchair. And I think in any case, you shouldn't need to be codependent on another person to be there to do ordinary living things.
Thinking about factors of accessibility, one of the biggest ones was having to set the whole house deeper in the ground so that there was less ramping to get up, because if you look around, older houses are higher. In this case, we had to push the house down. And getting that curved ramp down so you can actually access the rear yard and the conservation area.
Well, I mean, that determined a good chunk of your design, didn't it? That we wanted the house to be towards the back with as much window space as you can for most of the day and the evening.
So there's always a view out, so you feel connected to the outside world.
Ease of maintenance, absolutely, and at the same time, materials that are very much in character with the natural feel of the site and also that have beauty.
Yeah.
So really great to be able to put those things together and still have something that just looks wonderful.
Yeah. Another thing I enjoy so much designing this house with you is that the kitchen, it's actually 2 kitchens that shares a giant pantry.
Yes, it has 2 kitchens in it, and my secret is that means I get twice the kitchen space, yay. So when the kids are home, for example, my kids love to cook too, and we all can get in there and cook in the kitchen. There's space for that.
So much of it is easy. You don't have to reinvent the wheel when you decide that the light switches should be low so somebody doesn't have pain with their torn rotator cuffs. Plugs should be higher.
Where the door handles are, the little things, like the fact that the floors are where the heat is, not forced air blowing it in from the top.
A lot of the things like the extra wide hallways are really due to your design.
Your master bedroom suite with the bathroom, the roll-in shower, the closet. I mean, just having the room to move around.
Being up there, you wake up and you look out and the sun is hitting the trees and you can't even see anything below, left or right, other than forest.
And the balcony out there with the clear glass railing. And I mean, it's just those little things. The cumulative effect is much greater than I thought. Wheelchairs tend to mark walls. And so we came up with a design that's an exaggerated height in the baseboard, and it's maple, which is hard. So it's hard to damage it.
The floor, the baseboard, the paint, everything is carried through to the large cab elevator. So you walk through a door that looks like any covered door in the house, and you're in an elevator that just looks like a small moving room.
And Jim, you work at home a lot. You're a professor in history, but you also do a lot of research at home.
Well, yes, I've always worked better at home. I had books spread between 3 offices, plus shelves, plus the basement. So I was looking forward to getting them all in one place. A lot of file cabinets full of photocopies and notes accumulated over 30, 35 years. So having that all in one place was great, but not dominating a main floor. Having a study on the main floor, 2 things about an office would be enough room to move around in a wheelchair where you can spread file cabinets and work desks, which I couldn't do in my old office. Another feature is automation. I mean, there's no-brainers like the automated doors. We have 5 automated blinds. The blinds are energy efficient because I can lower them as the sun comes down and shines into the house.
One of the fabulous things about having automatic doors anyway is that Cato, our dog, needs to go out all the time, and we can, with the flick of a button, open the door that lets him into the vestibule where his dog door is, and he can let himself out.
My physiatrist was adamant that I should make it possible to exercise. The therapy pool, I'm supposed to swim laps every second day or so because that's the only exercise I can do now, and it's great. Having it right there at the back of the house is fabulous.
Every time I visit this house, I realize how much I've learned about self-sufficiency and accessibility and how easy it is to do if you do it at the beginning. And this could work for a whole generation of aging people. I actually am so thankful you hired me to do this because I learned a lot.
Well, you should be proud because it's a terrific achievement, and we intend to enjoy it for 50 or 60 more years.